hearing whispering today because it's been said I talk too loud, so welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. I'm Rob Adams, Donald Eng over
It's not
there.
that you talk too loud, it's just that one microphone is way up here and one's here.
It's been said you can hear me, basically the traffic on Bridgeport Avenue can hear me, but that's fine. It's the nature of having this voice. Anyway, welcome to the show for a Tuesday. Very happy to be joined by Tom Keys, the head basketball coach at Norwalk. We will talk to him in a little bit as he joins the HAN family today, so happy to have him aboard. We'll do that in a little bit. But Don, we're going to get to athletes in a week of the week in a moment. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How's things going? Looking forward to some more games tonight. It's been a fun week.
It's going to be a fun week, even more so. Today we've got the FCAC boys basketball semifinals, FCAC boys hockey semifinals tomorrow, the boys basketball championship Thursday, and the boys hockey championship Saturday, and then the big sleep begins sometime around 7 o'clock on Saturday night.
Well, presumably not the big sleep. Maybe just like some sleeping. I don't want you to go all Raymond Chandler on us.
No, don't want to do that. But nonetheless, various and sundry sleeping will be had by the end of Saturday. But anyway, let's dive into Athletes of the Week. We named the Athletes of the Week for you yesterday here on the show from last week. Now we have to name the nominees for this week. I've got the females ready to go. Want to start there?
Sure thing.
All right, we will start with Sam Aparicio of Darien Gymnastics. The captain won the all-around championship at Saturday's Class M gymnastics tournament at Pomperog High School, 36.1 points to take the title while also winning the vault, balance beam, and floor exercises. Darien finished fifth as a team. That's Sam Aparicio of Darien Gymnastics.
Sticking in Darien, we've got Georgia Cassidy, the senior co-captain, scored both of the Blue Waves' goals in hockey as they defeated rival New Canaan 2-0 for their fourth straight FCAC Girls Hockey Championship. Of course, Georgia, being a senior, has not ever failed to win a league championship.
And she put on one of the nastiest moves. We have still marveled at the move she put on in that hockey game on Saturday. We've watched that video a couple of times. Up next is Tiana England of Stanford basketball.
Speaking of nasty moves.
Yeah, nasty moves indeed with that crossover dribble. Tiana was named FCAC playoff MVP after leading the Black Knights to a 56-48 victory over Fairfield Ward back on February 26th. She scored 19 points in the 63-47 semifinal win over Trumbull. She also scored 19 points and had 6 assists.
Back to gymnastics, Adnaris de Jesus of Greenwich helped lead the Greenwich Cardinals to their first state championship Saturday at Pomperog High School. She scored 38.575 to win the all-around, also finished first in the unevens. That says first in every event, scoring 9.7 on the vault, 9.6 on the bars, 9.55 on the beam, and 9.72 on the floor. Greenwich scored 140 points to take the Class L title.
Their first ever Class L title. To Fairfield Ward basketball now. Layla Markovic of Fairfield Ward is up next. She ran the offense 5 points down the stretch, scored 16 overall. The Mustangs beat Ridgefield 51-49 in the FCAC semis on February 24th. In the finals versus Stanford, she had 6 points. Layla Markovic of Stanford.
Back to Darien ice hockey. Emily Genenzio had 20 saves and shut out New Canaan in the ice hockey final on Saturday. The junior stopped 4 breakaways, including 2 in the final 8 minutes to preserve the win. Darien, as we mentioned, has won 4 FCAC titles in a row.
And she had 0 saves in the previous game against Stanford West Hill and Staples. On to Shania Osborne of Ward basketball, 14 points to lead Ward in the FCAC final versus Stanford. She also scored 13 points and had 9 boards and had a hand in 5 forced turnovers as Ward knocked off Ridgefield 51-49.
And our final nominee is Stanford basketball player Camille Martinez, who made 7 3-point shots, including a pair in the fourth quarter, to carry the Black Knights to a 63-47 win over Trumbull High in the FCAC semis. She finished with 25 points and in the finals had 13 points, including 3 3-pointers. Camille Martinez, your final girl nominee for FCAC Player of the Week.
Some of you may be watching my reaction as Don is talking. I don't know who I would vote for. I have my 2 ideas personally, but that's a tough crew right there.
That is tough. I mean, I'm trying to think. I usually don't vote, but that's close. That's too close to call. I mean, there just of the performances I've seen, some of them were, as we mentioned, Georgia Cassidy, Tiana England. Those are games that we saw with outstanding performances. But then again, I mean, Adnaris de Jesus winning every event at the State Open.
I'll say this: I would take any of the top 4: Aparicio, Cassidy, England, or de Jesus. I hope they all get tons of votes, and may the best athlete win, but I think any one of those top 4 would be in my radar.
Oh, yeah, outstanding performances all around.
Yeah, very good. All right, let's move down to the boys' side, and we will start with Jacob Camacho of Danbury Wrestling. He claimed the state open championship as he won all 4 of his matches at 113 pounds this weekend in New Haven. He had 1 pin and 2 major decisions to reach the final, and then defeated South Windsor's Devin Schoenberger 3-1 to take the crown. Jacob Camacho of Danbury.
Sticking with wrestling, Timmy Kane won the 132-pound weight class during the CIAC State Open. Kane won all 4 of his matches, won by pinfall, and defeated Montville's Joel Morth 9-3 in the final. It's Timothy Kane of Ward.
You know, the funny thing is when I saved the pictures to give them to Eric Gender, and you're looking at Timmy Kane right now, I saved it as just Kane, not thinking of Charlie Kane, who gave the Ward wrestlers 2 state open champions when he won the 145-pound weight class this weekend. Kane was 4-0 with a pair of pinfalls and defeated New Milford's Brian Rojas 13-6 in the final.
Next up, Darien diver Stephen Kreutsch captured the FCAC Diving Championship with a score of 494.35 points at West Hill High School in the pool. The senior edge teammate Timmy Lutz for the win.
Matt Cronenberg, a young man we will see later tonight at Fairfield Ward, is up next. The Wilton basketball star scored 39 to lead Wilton to a 92-90 double overtime victory over Ward in the FCAC quarterfinals. He had 3 3-pointers and 5 of 6 from the line in the second extra session. Matt Cronenberg of Wilton.
Trinity Catholic basketball player Dimitri Moyes is your next nominee, had 26 points, 14 rebounds, leading the Crusaders to a 77-73 overtime win over St. Joseph in the regular season finale for both teams back on February 24th. Dimitri Moyes of Trinity Catholic.
Jack Montesey of Greenwich Swimming is up next. A great meet on Friday, helping to lead the Cardinals to their 45th FCAC title in 46 years. I mean, you know, they should have had 46 out of 46. Come on, they just can't be perfect. But he won.
Fire the coach.
He won the 50 freestyle, the 100 backstroke, and part of 2 winning relays in the 200 medley and the 400 freestyle. We're just kidding, Greenwich High. We love you. Jack Montesey of Greenwich Swimming.
Trumbull basketball player Jack Moore is your next nominee. He had 18 points, leading the Eagles to a 51-46 double overtime win over Ridgefield in the FCAC quarters. Moore scored 16 points, including 9 of 10 from the foul line, when Trumbull finished the regular season at 17-3, 14-2 within the FCAC with a 61-50 win over Darien.
And an additional congratulations to Jack Morris. He was named FCAC Player of the Year, and his coach Buddy Bray, Coach of the Year. That came out yesterday. To Jeff Priscilla of Ridgefield Hockey. He scored 2 of the Tigers' 3 goals in the third period when Ridgefield came back from a 3-0 deficit to tie 5th-ranked Fairfield Prep 3-3 on February 22nd.
Now you're just trying to annoy me.
I know. I'm just trying to mess with you now. He also had a goal in the Tigers' 4-0 win over New Canaan in the FCAC playdown round. That's the quarterfinals on February 27th. Jeff Priscilla of Ridgefield Hockey, who Don now will have a voodoo doll of.
Ludlow basketball player Cole Prowett-Smith is your next nominee. Hit 5 3-pointers as the Falcons defeated Brian McMahon 77-62 to earn a berth in the FCAC quarters. He had 23 points, including 6 for 6 from the foul line.
To Kieran Smith, our final nominee, the sophomore was named Most Outstanding Swimmer at Friday's FCAC Finals in Greenwich. He set FCAC records in the 200-yard freestyle, the 500-yard freestyle, and Smith was also part of the 200 medley relay, which finished second, and the 400 freestyle relay team, which finished third. Ridgefield placed 4th overall. There are your athletes of the week, the nominees. Got a thought in there on the guys?
Well, my thought is that I kind of like seeing some of these, not so much, I mean, some of these non-stick and ball sport nominees getting support there and getting nominated. You know, the swimmers, the divers, wrestlers to a lesser extent. You know, but a lot of these athletes, you know, they don't really get the coverage that the basketball or hockey players do. And I really like seeing some of these other sports getting recognition.
All right, let's talk here, voters. We have to have a conversation. It is Super Tuesday after all, and this is just between us. I'm looking at the results right now, and I'm horrified by what I see. In fact, I see some athletes who have 0 votes. We can't have that. Right now, Jeff Priscilla has a dominant lead. Now, that being said, it's only about 22 votes, so we've got to get the votes a little bit higher. On the ladies' side, I'm really appalled. I'm really concerned here, Don, because no single nominee has more than 8 votes right now, so we got to get those votes going.
Right. Well, now you know who the nominees are. You know why they're nominated. No excuses.
No excuses, and we know you love all this stuff. No matter which of the polls you decide to take part in, we want you to take part in ours, in fact, and certainly support all these athletes. I know you guys have a lot of fun with it. We have a lot of fun talking about it. For instance, I know because I know Nick Bizzuto, he had a lot of fun with that last week, and I made sure to tweet him yesterday to congratulate him. So again, have some fun with it. Get out there and just click on who you think would be the athlete of the week. It all means, well, it all means prestige at the end of the day. And
bragging rights.
Your bragging rights. And I don't know, maybe I'll buy you a slushie sometime or something. I don't know. But beyond that, there's not much glory to it. But it's fun.
You know, it is fun, and it's one of those things that, like, you know, it's fun for the kids. It's fun for us that you know, to really see them just, you know, enjoy their high school you know, athletic careers. It's a lot of fun. Isn't that why we play sports?
It really is. I mean, that is, you know, we're having some fun with it, in fact. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a good time to be had by one and all. Now, again, a reminder as we get ready to take our first break, and we will have Tom Keys in a moment. But tonight, again, if you saw the initial schedule saying 6 o'clock, that is not the case. First game tips off at 5 o'clock tonight at Fairfield Ward, and then we'll have the second game later on, thinking 7:30. And then tomorrow, same, drop the puck at 5 in the FCAC semifinals in hockey, and the second game around 7:40 or 6:40 or so, excuse me. So again, just back everything up an hour today and tomorrow due to the SATs. We'll take a break. Tom Keys will join us right after this on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
Can't wait for it to get warmer so you can start fishing again? Get over to the Dock Shop, where they have the latest in fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. You'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
The 2016 FCAC playoffs are coming to the HAN Network. We'll have all of the big games beginning February 23rd on the court and on the ice. And we'll have it all live and streaming HD. This is your home for the 2016 FCAC Winter Championships. The HAN Network. Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network with Donald Eng. I'm Rob Adams. It's a Tuesday edition, and we're fired up for basketball tonight. Tonight is Saturday was great. Tonight is really good as well.
Right. It's the doubleheader, the two semifinals. It's just a fun night of basketball. I mean, the finals are always fun, but when you get to the semis, playing for a spot in the finals, those doubleheaders are just always something to look forward to.
One thing I would advocate for, if I could ever get this to be, I would love to see them split up the hockey playdown and girls championship day versus the boys quarterfinal day, so that, you know, I could be at both things and have my voice pretty much be gone until April. But it would be fun to be able to see and broadcast all these games. Of course, we did hockey. The basketball was being taken care of at the same time up at Fairfield Ludlow. Now they moved the venue over to Fairfield Ward for the semifinals tonight, and that's where we bring in a guy who I'm calling a new member of the HAN Network family and the coach of Norwalk boys basketball, Tom Keys. Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Rob and Don, how you doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
It's our pleasure. It's great to talk to you. And, you know, take us back to Saturday. I know that was a crazy, crazy day.
Oh, well, Saturday, I mean, you know, the FCAC quarterfinals, as far as I've been in the league, which is now 6 years I've been involved with the FCAC, it's always pretty much the marquee day of the season. And always, you know, it's where the unexpected is expected to happen. And, I mean, you had some crazy games, some great individual performances, some great team performances. Just really an exciting day of basketball for anybody that's a high school basketball fan in Fairfield County. I mean, that is the place, you know, you want to be at the FCAC quarterfinals. It really was exciting, and you know, congratulations to the teams that are moving on and playing tonight. Definitely, as you know, as a coach, it's kind of a bummer not to be playing tonight, but you know, in another way, you know, I'm still definitely very excited because there's lots of good teams left in the tournament, and you know, it should be a great show tonight.
Well, Coach, now that you mentioned the tonight's semis, why don't you give us just a quick breakdown? What are your obviously you've studied up on all these teams. What are your game notes on the matchups tonight? Yeah,
well, without giving too much, you know, I think you know, when you look at really the first matchup, which is West Hill and Trumbull, you know, you have two teams that are kind of similar. You have West Hill is definitely a really long team. I wrote down here, I have down they're longer than they appear to be. And that's really going to be an interesting matchup now with Ben McCullough out for Trumbull. You know, Ben's a really tough kid and a strong player inside. With him out of the game, you know, the question is Trumbull going to be able to contain guys like Terrell Alexander for West Hill, who's just a monster down low and, you know, has been here before. So I'm sure, you know, Howard White's staff is expecting a big game out of Terrell Alexander tonight.
Should be a big game for him for sure. Second game, I imagine, is going to be a good one as well.
Well, yeah, but I had one more. Just wanted to add in, you know, I mean, West Hill's got their hands full with Trumbull, too. I mean, Jack Moore is the league MVP.
Right.
He does a lot of the scoring. But one thing, it's not just Jack Moore on that Trumbull team. I mean, if anybody's going to be at the game or watching it tonight on your network, I'd be looking at some other players to maybe step up and have some big games. J.J. Fole is a junior shooting guard for Trumbull that, you know, I've kind of thought has really improved over the last 2 years. They also have McElroy playing the guard position. And, you know, either of those guys can step up. And it's not like with McCullough being out that Buddy doesn't have plenty of other big kids that can step in and fill in the role tonight. So, you know, that game's going to really be a great game. They both have bona fide stars, Trumbull with Jack Moore, West Hill with Terrell Alexander. And really the main question is, or probably the team that's going to win the game, is going to be which team has their number 2 or number 3 guy step up. They both have, you know, will play multiple defenses, both have very good coaching staffs that are very well respected. I'm not sure, I can't confirm this, but I'm not sure if Howard is coaching tonight. It might be Roberto Nieves. Howard did not coach on Saturday just to a health issue, and, you know, I wish him the best, and as far as I hear, you know, he will be okay. But that first game tonight is going to be great. Both teams are senior heavy, which when you're watching high school basketball playoffs, that's what you want to see because, you know, whoever gets more loose ball rebounds or whoever's diving on the floor, that's probably going to be the team that comes out with the win tonight. So that first game is going to be real exciting.
Before we turn to the
you did ask me about, you know, the second game also. I mean, now you're looking at two teams that are different but do also share some similarities. Wilton is a lot smaller than Danbury, but, you know, they are very well coached. I think, you know, Joel's definitely hands down one of the best coaches in the league. This is his 4th straight year in the FCAC, and he's really probably done it with, on paper, you know, people would seem, you know, maybe kids that aren't as, you know, as big or as fast, but I mean, he has implemented the perfect system for Wilton. So I would expect Wilton to be in this game tonight. I know they're probably going to be viewed as the underdogs, but you know, they'll they have a real good opportunity to go toe-to-toe. They have 3 different guys that can beat you. When the season first started, Jack Williams was their main guy, and then kind of by the middle of third of the season, Cronenberg had stepped up to be one of the key players, and then kind of really out of nowhere, the past 5 or 6 games, Drew Connolly has, emerged as a bona fide number 3 option. So now Wilton has 3 kids that can all put up 20 points tonight, and they might get 20 from all 3 of them because they're a high-powered offense. They run the ball. They love to shoot threes. So, Danbury's going to have their hands full. On Danbury's side, they got a kid, Marcus Fox, who, I think is probably the premier big man in the league this year. He's only a junior, but he is old school. If anybody likes basketball from the 80s and 90s, he's a back-to-the-basket, physical banger in the paint. And this kid's going to go after every rebound tonight, and he's going to play very physical. It'll be fun to watch. And, the question is, Wilton will be a little bit smaller. Will they be able to compete with him? And I really think they will be because Joel's kids usually do get up for big games. And like I said, Joel's a great coach. He's going to have his team prepared. Danbury has some other kids. Scott Nesbitt used to just kind of be a three-point shooter. I think he's one of the most improved players in the league over the past 2 seasons. He can put the ball on the floor. He can score out in transition. He can get to the rim. And he's also a pretty good defender. So, Danbury probably top to bottom this year from the beginning of the season all the way to the end maybe I would say they're a little more complete than everybody else. They can play lots of different styles and beat you a lot of different ways. Casey has been grooming this group for about 3 years now. And this is, going to be his, one of his best shots to go out and get a championship. So I think really I can't predict what's going to happen because there's probably 1,000 different scenarios of what you're going to see happen tonight. And you don't know what it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be unpredictable, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm just excited to be there, and I'm excited for the coaches. All 4 of these coaches are great coaches. They have really good teams, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
And it's fun that 3 of the 4 teams have not won a title since 1992 at the latest. Wilton has never won. Trumbull 83, Danbury 92. West Hill did win it last year. So you got 4.
Don't remind me of West Hill's championship last year.
Sorry,
I was
Tom.
There.
You didn't hear me say that, Tom.
And you also have, also 3 of these teams, 3 of the 4 teams, everybody other than Danbury was in the semifinals last season. So, that says a lot about, those 3 programs, about Wilton, West Hill, and Trumbull, that they're back in the semifinals 2 years in a row. So, I think, it'd be exciting to certainly get one of those teams that, like Wilton that hasn't won it yet ever, or one of the 2 teams that haven't won it in a long time, but I definitely wouldn't count out West Hill. I served on Howard's staff for a year. He's a good friend of mine, and, that coaching staff over there, they know how to win in March when it counts. And, the players there, they do know how to turn it on when it counts too. So I think West Hill, you have a chance to see them repeat as well. But, first you got to get through tonight, and tonight is definitely a dogfight. So I hope nobody's really looking towards Thursday yet. I think all these coaching staffs and all these players know that it's about tonight. It's about taking it one game at a time. And, I expect to see, 2 really good games tonight. Should be very entertaining. I think the FCAC, is hands down the best and most dramatic league in the state. And, I think if Saturday didn't prove it, there'll be some things tonight that will prove it.
Now, Coach, last thing from me here. You were mentioning that these teams, they've been returning to the semifinals. As you look to next year and getting Norwalk back to competing for FCAC championships, what do your guys need to do? What are you looking at for the offseason and going into next season? As the saying goes, basically, your 2016-17 season essentially begins now, right?
Yeah, well, it already began. So, the SEAC rules allow us to practice all the way up to the state championships. So we've, we played Wilton in a final regular season game last Wednesday, and we started yesterday with, legally I could still work out with the kids. So we have the juniors and sophomores. We worked out on Monday. We'll take today off. We'll work out Wednesday, and then we do have some scrimmages set up against some playoff teams for later on in the week. And I think that's, one way to kind of, past season we had didn't really work our way wins and losses, but, we're going to build towards next year now. So, it's great to have a group of younger kids that, they approached me and they definitely want to keep working. So, We're going to work for the next 3 weeks as up until the state championship as a team, maybe work on our individual skills, work on, our skills as a team and playing together. And then, in the off season, what really happens, a lot of these guys go off to AAU, and, we really can't work with them according to the SEAC rules. So you try to keep tabs on them as best you can. And, we just hope that, maybe we have a bad taste in our mouth about the way this season ended. And, that would probably be a good thing if we came back next year with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. I'm looking forward to, coaching the group that I have coming back into next season, the 2016-17 season.
Tom, you gave us a lot of great stuff. We've got to run, but we'll see you in a couple of hours over at Fairfield Ward. Thanks for your time.
All right, I'll see you guys there.
Sounds great.
Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, Tom.
Right,
thanks so much. That is Tom Keys, the head basketball coach at Norwalk High School. Gave us a lot of great stuff. I'm really hoping is a big part of our broadcast tonight as well. We'll take a break here. Doubleheader action later on. We'll continue on with Nutmeg Sports. We'll wrap it up right after this on the HAN Network. Denali is your outdoor retail destination in the Westfield Trumbull Mall. For the last 21 years, we have carefully selected clothing, footwear, and gear from a variety of the best outdoor brands, such as the North Face, Patagonia, Vineyard Vines, UGG, Merrell, GoPro, New Balance, and many more. Our stores have a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with all of your running, hiking, and cold weather needs, and in discovering all things outdoorsy and awesome. Visit us in the Westfield Trumbull Mall or online at DenaliOutdoor.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express, open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter, and I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back with you on Nutmeg Sports for our final segment. Great job by Tom Keys. Looking forward to him later on. And love that kind of grassroots person that joins the broadcast. You know, he's not a broadcast professional. He's just kind of willing to jump in. I'm excited to have him aboard later.
Yeah, you know, because he brings a level of knowledge of just the intricacies of the sport that really just add a lot to the broadcast, just to the analysis of the game. It's really great to have him on. He was a great guest.
Yes, absolutely. Let's turn our attention now over to something you brought up to me.
Yeah, I just thought it just caught my eye as I was scanning some of the websites here. This off the Darien Times website. On Thursday and Friday, March 10th and 11th, the Darien Blue Wave will compete against Brian McMahon High School in an annual lift-a-thon. And this year, there is a twist to it. It's called the Lifting Grace event. The two teams will lift weights, lots of them, but more importantly, lift spirits and improve lives by raising funds to support research directed toward a cure for Rasmussen's encephalitis. The event is inspired by Grace Wahlberg, Darien class of 2016, the sister of former Captain Mike Wahlberg. And the two teams will put their brawn to good use. Bench, squat, and clean with a goal of raising $10,000. You going to be competing there? You look like you can.
That's all I can do. Clipboard, that's about it. That is great, actually. And I obviously love that there's a charity involved, and I think that's just it's phenomenal stuff.
Local, part of the school community.
Yeah.
You love to see kids putting in effort and that kind of thing to raise money and help out toward a great cause. That's Rasmussen's encephalitis.
Yeah. I mean, I can't put it any better. Phenomenal job by everyone. Both at Darien and Brian McMahon. March 10th for the upperclassmen, March 11th for the freshmen. We're going to try to get somebody on to talk about it as well.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I'd love to know the backstory of how this event came to be. And a lot of the football teams do have, they'll compete against each other in weightlifting in the off season. But in this case, supporting a worthy cause. So that's great to see.
Great to keep the athletes involved, and I love it. I think it's a great thing. But with all that said and done, we have flown right on through another program.
The time, where does it go?
See you next Monday.
Oh yeah, well I'll probably see you tonight on my laptop. But as far as being in studio, Monday it is.
Monday it is. Dave Stewart, Mike Suppy will both be around tomorrow for Nutmeg Sports, so we're glad to do that. Now, let's just catch up really quickly before we say goodbye. We've got the doubleheader action later on at Fairfield Ward High School. Really excited. Semifinals coming up. We will have in Game 1 West Hill and Trumbull, Wilton and Danbury in the nightcap. Those are the boys FCAC basketball semifinals. The winners play Thursday at 7, all of which we will have right here on the HAN Network. Tomorrow we will have the boys ice hockey semifinals from Terry Connors Rink in Stamford. Again, both days we will start our broadcasts a little before 5 o'clock, but games are scheduled to start at 5 o'clock for both basketball and hockey. Boys basketball championship Thursday, boys hockey championship on Saturday. Exciting time for us. We love doing it, and with all that said and done, that'll do it for Nutmeg Sports. Thanks to Eric Gendron for tickling the ivories on the other side, and for Donald Eng, I'm Rob Adams. Great job out of Tom Keys. We will see him later on. We will see you later on for boys basketball right here on the HAN Network, and coffee break tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. But for now, thanks for watching Nutmeg Sports. So long, everyone.